Okay, in this video we're going to talk all about polygons. Let's give you just a definition of what a polygon is to start. Okay, and a polygon, this is a two-dimensional figure with many sides. Okay, and the polygons in general are pretty familiar too. So let's make a little chart here. We'll call it number of sides, right? And then over here, name. And then let's just list out some common polygons and then the name of them. Okay, so a three-sided figure, right? What do we call that? Well, that's a triangle, right? A four-sided figure, that's a quadrilateral. Okay, and maybe some of these are less familiar, but a five-sided figure is a pentagon. Okay, six-sided figure is a hexagon. Right, seven-sided figure is a heptagon, and we're going to go down to 10. Eight-sided figure, octagon. Is it O or A? I don't know. We'll go with O. Octagon. Nine-sided figure is a nonagon. Cool. And then a 10-sided figure is a decagon. Right. So you're going to need to know just the names here of these different polygons, so that because it's going to be used frequently. Okay. Another word that you need to know is what a regular. Actually, you know what? Let's start with a different word. Let's start with equilateral and equiangular. Okay. Equilateral means all sides are equal. Okay, and equiangular, all angles are equal. Okay, so you make sure to write that down. Let's give you some examples of shapes that are equilateral and equiangular. Okay, so a good example of an equiangular shape would be something like a rectangle, right? This rectangle here. Notice all of these are 90 degrees, right? So it's equiangular. Is it equilateral? It's not, right? Because clearly, like this side is congruent to this side, and this side is congruent to this side. Okay? Let's give you an example of what an equilateral shape looks. Equilateral shape looks like. And so here we're looking at something like this, right? What if we had something like this, right? Where all of these sides were equal, but the angles weren't necessarily equal, and we could exaggerate this if we wanted to. Right, let's maybe even do that a little bit. All right, so we can take this and just manipulate it. Right, so you can see this is equilateral but not equiangular. Okay. Another word that you need to know is what regular means. I'll keep that in blue. Okay, regular means that a figure is both equilateral and equiangular. Okay, so let me give you an example of what this looks like. Okay. We'll draw a quadrilateral that's both regular and not regular. Okay, so here's the first one, let's draw something that's regular. And a regular quadrilateral four-sided shape, well, that's a familiar shape to you. That's a square, right? Because it's equilateral and it's also equiangular. Okay, let's draw a non-regular quadrilateral here. So a non-regular quadrilateral. It could be anything, right? Something like this, right? As long as it has four sides, it is a quadrilateral, but it's definitely not regular. Okay. Can you picture what a regular octagon would look like? Let's see if I can bring one up here. I'll erase this part. And I should just be able to bring this up, right? It's going to be 8 sides, right? And notice we could label this, right? We could label that all of the sides are equal. And notice all of the angles are equal as well. Okay, so this right here, we would call this a regular octagon. Okay, so those are the big words. For a second here, I want to focus in on quadrilaterals. There's some specific types of quadrilaterals that you need to know about. Okay, so this is kind of the second half. Let me get rid of this guy. Okay, so this next part's going to be all about different types of quadrilaterals. Okay, so four sides is a quadrilateral. Oops. Okay, and so, like I said, some specific quadrilaterals. Let's start with the first one, a square. Right? Can you picture what that looks like? Right? It's got all sides equal and all angles equal. Cool. A rectangle. Right? A rectangle has two pairs of congruent sides. So we have this pair and this pair. And then it's equiangular. Cool. Next up, let's see what I want to look at. Parallelogram. Okay. A parallelogram, it doesn't necessarily have to look exactly like this, but what it is you have two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so like this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Right, that kind of defines what a parallelogram is. Next up, we have a rhombus. Okay, and a rhombus is equilateral, but not necessarily equiangular. Right, so let me exaggerate that a little bit more. A rhombus could look something like this. Kind of looks like a diamond in a sense. Oops, that was not a very good last line. Right, where these guys are congruent. Right, and notice that these guys are going to be parallel. Like this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Okay, and let's see, do I have some more? Yeah, a couple more. Let's look at what a kite is. Okay, a kite has two pairs of congruent sides, and the congruent sides are next to each other. So something like those guys are congruent, and maybe they come down like this. These guys are congruent. Okay. And then the last term that I wanted to look at, less quadrilateral, was a trapezoid. Okay, a trapezoid can take various figures, right? But what it is you have one pair of parallel sides, and it's a quadrilateral, right? So something like this, where this side is parallel to this side, right? And that's what it is, a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so those are some of the big terms that you got to know. I think we covered it all, so I'll leave you there. Okay, thanks for watching.